Welcome to the Manifestation Babe podcast. My name is Catherine Zinkina, and I'm a manifestation expert, master mindset coach, and multiple seven-figure entrepreneur. I'm obsessed with helping you achieve everything that you once thought was impossible. If you're looking to massively up-level your life, your finances, your relationships, your productivity and success, then you have come to the right place. My goal in this podcast is to help you see the infinite potential within yourself to be, do, and have anything that your heart desires. Think of this podcast as your weekly dose of mindset development to help you maximize who you are and where you're going. Leave it to me to provide you with the tools, the resources, the strategies, and teachings that you need to manifest a reality wilder than your wildest dreams. I know we're about to have so much fun together, so thank you so much for pushing play today, and now let's begin. Hello, my beautiful souls, and welcome back to another episode of the Manifestation Babe podcast. So, as you can imagine, based off of what the title says, we're going to be talking about why your 2022 goals didn't manifest. Now, I must be living in the future because every time I sat down to prepare this episode, I kept calling it why your 2023 goals didn't manifest. Like when I told my team, I'm going to record an episode saying this, I'm going to make a TikTok saying this or whatever, I kept saying 2023. And I'm like, wait a second, 2023 is coming. We ain't there yet. I need to get back to 2022. So that's where I'm at. Reasons why your 2022 goals didn't manifest. So I want to make an episode around this because every single year, I see people either they manifested their goals or they didn't, or they're close and they need some help. They need some assistance. So I'm here to give you that assistance. We still have some time to make some magic happen. Okay. So I want you to utilize these tips and tricks and these pointers that I'm going to give you. There's 4 pointers, and just know that every single day is just the beginning. That's what you have to realize. It's the most powerful mindset you could ever get into. Every single day is just the beginning. I don't care that I'm making this podcast episode right now in December, launching it in the first week of December. That doesn't mean anything. Time is an illusion. Time is just like a date is just this thing that we decided on together. Like, oh, today is December 5th, right? That's just something we decided on, but it doesn't mean anything about you. It doesn't mean anything about, oh my God, you're, a failure if you're not close to achieving your 2022 goals, or maybe you didn't even set 2022 goals or whatever. Who cares? Okay. There's still so much time. Let's dive into this. So if you're someone who still needs help or didn't manifest your 2022 goals, obviously that's why you're in this episode, right? So I'm talking to you. Number one thing that I see amongst the peoples, the goal setting peoples, is that you probably relied on motivation all year, which isn't something that naturally exists. Motivation is not something you find. And maybe you lost motivation. You thought you had this or maybe you experienced this natural motivation in the beginning of the year. And then, come April, June, July, August, you're like, oh, I just need the motivation. I just need to motivate myself to get back on the bandwagon, to spring back into action so that I can finally get to where I want to go. And here's the thing. Motivation isn't necessary, because think about animals in the wild for a second. I want you to imagine for just a moment a lion laying down on the savannah, seeing a zebra in the distance, being really hungry, almost like smacking his lips, looking at the zebra and thinking to himself, oh, if only I had the motivation to run after the zebra. You just don't see that. The lion gets up and goes after the zebra. Or you never see, for example, there's a bird sitting on a branch and it wants to fly to the other branch. The The bird is never thinking to itself, oh, if only I could just, motivate myself to fly up into the air, to flap my wings and make my way to the next branch. No, the bird doesn't even think about that. The lion doesn't even think about that. They just see it. They know that they want it and they go for it. And that's how goal setting, goal manifesting, goal achieving, whatever it is that you want to call it, needs to be for you. And where that comes from, motivation naturally, automatically comes from something else. It's not something that you just make within yourself. It is a byproduct of something else. And what that is that it comes naturally with a vision that's compelling enough for you to spring into action. Okay, when you are compelled, when you can see it as it's already done, when you can almost taste it, that's how close you are to it in your mind, your unconscious will naturally align you with the exact action, the exact energy, whatever is required for you to get that thing without any of your additional effort at all. You don't have to use willpower. You don't have to effort your way there. It's something that comes automatically. So for example, imagine you have the desire to go out and try a new ice cream shop. Okay, I'm thinking of my friend Zach here because he loves a good dessert place. And very often, for some reason, every time we hang out, we're looking for a new ice cream shop. So I'm thinking of you, Zach. And here's my question for you. How often do you look for the motivation to try out some new ice cream? You don't, right? You're not like sitting there trying to muster the motivation to go try it out because you are already tasting it. You're literally, your mouth is salivating already the moment that you get in the car, or the moment you think of it, and then the moment you get in the car to go get it, right? You're not thinking to yourself, all right, here we go. I gotta find my keys. Then I gotta grab my purse. I need my driver's license. All right. Okay, I'm opening the door now. Okay, I'm stepping outside. I'm taking 1 step, 2 step, 3 step, 4 step, 5 step. Okay, opening my car door. All right, putting my car keys in the ignition. Like that's how a very like a goal that just doesn't mean anything to you. That's how it's going to feel achieving it. When you say, I just want to make my 10K month, your unconscious mind does not know what it means to make a 10K month. And when you sit there and you reverse engineer, like you're using the traditional goal setting language and lingo and ways of going about it, very conscious mind stuff, right? When you're just saying, I just want to make my 10K month, I already made my 10K month, whatever, however you word it, your unconscious mind is like, what's a 10K month? And then when you create this like whole reverse engineering of like step 1, make a website, step 2, like that kind of thing, you're not diving into how your unconscious mind speaks and how it gets motivated naturally. That's how it's going to feel. You never make it to the ice cream shop and go, oh my God, I'm so proud of myself for getting here. You don't think that way, right? It's just done. You're already tasting the ice cream the moment you decide to go get the ice cream. You need to taste the goal the moment that you set it. And I'm telling you, you will find the motivation. It is something that will just be there as a byproduct. It's not something that you need to create a plan for, a list for, find a coach for, et cetera, et cetera. You just don't have a compelling enough vision. So that's number 1. Okay. Your goals just didn't excite you. Number 2, second thing that I want to talk about, which literally leads me straight into it, because it's kind of like part of number 1. You didn't utilize how your unconscious naturally motivates itself into action. So I talked a little bit about this. Now I want to expand on this number two. So your goals were probably set as like some vague shit. Okay. I want to get healthy. I want more money and I want to get married. Like, it's just, okay. All right. You're probably also not really seeing the end result, because if you see the end result, it's almost like you're salivating over that ice cream and you're not tapping into how it's going to feel for you in the end. And feeling is so, like, the reason why we have emotions is to cause actions. So our mind creates emotions, thoughts, sensations, impulses, and behaviors / habits to cause actions. So you can use that to your advantage, and you can cause yourself to feel feelings by creating a compelling enough vision so that you spring yourself into action. So how this is done, how the unconscious mind does this, is it needs specificity and it needs details. Okay? The conscious mind understands concepts and generalities. So when you say, I want more money, I'm going to make 10K months, awesome. Your conscious mind totally gets it. Logically, you know how it's done. The thing is that your goal manifesting journey only involves your conscious mind at 5%. So 5% of what is required for you to manifest your goals is your conscious mind. And your unconscious mind needs that specificity and the details. It needs to, like the ice cream, taste your goals. It needs imagery. It needs the 5 senses. It needs symbolism. It needs emotions. Okay? It's not just okay with you simply writing something down. And this is what I talk about inside of my program, Epically Aligned, which, newsflash, has opened up today, which I'll talk about in just a second. So if you need help with this and you're like, okay, I don't want to make these same mistakes for 2023. I really want to manifest both my 2022 goals and set new 2023 goals and manifest them together. I'm going to tell you exactly how to do that. Okay. So we'll get there in just a second. It's not okay, the unconscious mind, for you to simply write something down. Instead of saying, I want more money, or I'm going to make 10K months or whatever, instead, listen to the difference. And this is not perfect. This is just me making shit up on the fly. Okay. Like, if I really sat down and thought about this and I was making this goal up for me, I'd make it even more compelling. But just notice the difference. I make 10K months versus I wake up every single morning feeling energized, feeling alert, excited, and ready to take on my day. As I smell the morning coffee brewing in my favorite pink Manifestation Babe cup, I pick up my phone and I see 30 new PayPal notifications come in from sales in my business that has been generated while I slept. Literally, while I was in dream time, my business made all of this money. I check my bank account through this little app that I opened up at the click of my finger, and I see that the numbers for the last month total $10,000, $10,586.72, because hashtag specificity. I made my 10K month, and it gets to be that simple. It gets to be that easy, that pleasurable, just as easy as waking up in the morning and smelling coffee. This gets to be my reality, simply for me showing up and delivering value to the world in the way that I know best via social media, helping people rewire the ways that they see themselves, their businesses, and their relationships. So this is just like a very quick made up example. You guys get the point though. There's the logical, yeah, I know what 10K months logically look like, but if you don't communicate it to your unconscious mind using that specificity, that imagery, that visualization, like actually seeing it done, and I'm sure you cannot, you probably can actually smell the coffee as I share that. You can taste the coffee if you're a coffee lover or a matcha lover, who cares? You could literally taste it, right? So that's the difference there. Number 3 is counterintuitive. it almost never makes sense at first, but then when I explain this inside of Epically Aligned, everybody gets it. You probably put too much pressure on yourself to have your goals manifest in 2022. So, yes, it's great to create a timeline, but what isn't great is creating and manifesting out of pressure. Why? Because pressure puts you in survival mode. The mind sees pressure as a perceived threat. So when your mind sees pressure as a perceived threat, you're making your goals a threat to your unconscious rather than seeing it as something that's good for you to achieve. Literally, isn't that crazy? So pressure putting you into survival mode means that you're turning off yourself from intellect, you're turning yourself off from creativity, from making good choices, from healing, from thriving, from many things that last time I checked are kind of necessary for you to manifest your goals, right? Fight or flight is not the energy you want to be in. But because we put pressure on ourselves, and I see this in business, like businesses that have a launch schedule, kind of like my business has launches, right? Works for me because I am really good at taking the pressure off of my launches. But if you aren't, I highly suggest you work on that because you don't want your brain to see your business or elements of your business as a perceived threat. Okay? You don't want to go into survival mode. This is about thriving here. And the mind, how it sees pressure and obligation, how it sees should, must, need to, have to, right? That's like survival energy because technically speaking, you should, must, need to, and have to survive, right? You should, must, need to, and have to breathe. Like that's great. Absolutely. That's a must. So that's not even an option for all of us. But setting goals, like achieving goals, that's not equated to breathing. That's not equated to survival, to circulation, to respiration, to digestion. That's just not the same energy. So you don't want your unconscious mind to see it as the same energy. So achieving your goals has nothing to do with survival. It is not a threat. So taking the timeline pressure off of your goals actually helps you achieve them faster. And how I do this is I set a loose intention that this is my intention. If I were to put a container around the end point for my goals, I see the year 2022 or 2023 or whatever year it is. But at the same time, you want to give yourself permission to have all the time in the world at the same time. So that means that even if you achieve them on January 1st or January 2nd, which is, oh my God, it's not the same year because we're already in the next year, that's still okay. Even if it takes you 2 years, even if it takes you 3 years, guys, it is better than nothing. It is better than not doing it at all. Am I right or am I right? So many people, they put this imaginary pressure that comes from God knows where. It's not like God is going to zap you. Like the universe is threatening your life all of a sudden if you don't achieve something by this day. It's not like someone's holding a gun to your head saying, you need to make this much money by this date. That's just not the reality for most of us, right? I'm not saying that, I don't know, maybe that could happen in some extreme case, and I hope to God never. But typically speaking, just generally speaking, no one is holding a gun to your head telling you you need to achieve this by this date. So taking the pressure off of ourselves allows us to feel freedom. And last time I checked, most of your goals probably have something to do with freedom. And the energy in which you manifest something creates the energy at which that thing manifests. So if your goals are manifested from obligation, you're going to continue to attract more and more obligatory energies into your life. You don't want your goals to come like something that me and my coach talked about in our last launch was like, she helped me realize that even if I made slightly less money in one of my launches, but I had like double the fun, 10 times the fun, I had zero stress, zero worry. Doesn't that feel better anyway? Like, would I rather make more, the same amount of money that I normally do, or more money and feel immense pressure and stress and just obligation because I'm doing things I don't want to be doing? Or do I want to let go of some things? And even if it means making slightly less money or whatever, if I had fun making that money, doesn't that money just feel better? And it does. It really does. And then number 4, the last thing is you probably didn't join my Epically Aligned program last year, which would have showed you exactly how to align yourself in the correct way for you and your energy, for the correct goals, the correct amount of goals for you, and utilizing your energy and how it's designed to be utilized all year, and got your unconscious mind, which is responsible for 95% of your success anyway, on board with manifesting your goals, which is, like we talked about, where motivation comes naturally for you. And if you're like, damn it, I didn't sign up for Epically Aligned last year, well, you're in luck, because my annual signature end of the year, New Year's Eve goal or whatever, New Year's goal manifesting program, Epically Aligned, is now open and enrolling for this week and this week only, because I am doing it as a live program. So I'm running it for 5 days straight. You get to be 5 days straight live with me via Zoom. I'm going to create such an amazing process for you guys. It has helped me. This is the process that helped me go from $9,000 to $600K in that first year when I designed the Epically Aligned process. I literally designed it New Year's Eve of 2016, and I don't even know the math. Tell me what percentage growth that is, because I feel like it's like in the thousands percent, like 9K to 600K, right? I designed the Epically Aligned process. I've been using it every single year, and it really helps you collapse the timelines. I have seen my goals manifest in 6 months' time versus 12 months' time. I've seen it for my students. It is such a great way, especially if you didn't sign up for MBA this year and you were looking for a smaller program or something else to do. You still want to work with me, but you want to do something else. You weren't ready for MBA yet, or you want like a natural progression into MBA. This is it for you. So we are running this from December 12th through 16th. And it's going to be live. So the cart is going to close the night before December 12th, December 11th. And in order to sign up for that, you will go to manifestationbabe.com/links. It's my general links page, just to make this easy, because I'm like, oh my God, I feel like people are going to misspell Epically Aligned. I don't even know how Epically Aligned is supposed to be spelled, but I just spell it my own way. And I've been spelling it my own way for years now. And that's just the way it is. And I was like, let me just make this super simple. So manifestationbabe.com/links. And listen up, in a year, like you guys have been listening probably, I'm sure. And especially if you have a husband in finance, you've been hearing it nonstop. In a year where there's nothing but talk about a recession, an economic downturn, financial scarcity, right? Things are going to go sour. They're going to go down. Oh my God, we need to hunker down, bunker down, all these things that people are talking about that's going to be in the plans for 2023 that kind of already started and pretty much is here. And people are saying, oh my God, it's going to get worse in 2023. I want to show you how to make yourself recession proof. Okay. This is what this is. This is going to show you that you get to create your own reality and recession proof your mind so that financial abundance and prosperity is always consistently, no matter what, your reality. Because external circumstances say absolutely nothing about your ability to manifest your dream life. Always, in spite of what's going on in the world, you always get to thrive. There's always someone thriving, always. So to get inside of Epically Aligned, you just need to go to manifestationbabe.com/links, and it should be there at the top. I'll make sure that it's right there. Super simple button that you click, you get inside, and I can't wait to see you. And also, I'm making this such a no-brainer. I know MBA is quite an investment when we launch it, because it is 20 weeks long. So obviously the value matches, what you put into it is what you get out of it, and so much more. And so Epically Aligned is just 222. One single investment of 222. That's $222, and you get the whole program with lifetime access. And with that being said, I can't wait to help you create the most epically aligned, 2023. This is just the beginning. I can't wait to see what you create and what you manifest. With that being said, I will either catch you inside of Epically Aligned or the next episode. Mwah. Bye. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. If you absolutely loved what you heard today, be sure to share it with me by leaving a review on iTunes so that I can keep the good stuff coming your way. If you aren't already following me on social media, come soak up the extra inspiration on Instagram by following @ManifestationBabe or visiting my website at manifestationbabe.com. I love and adore you so much and can't wait to connect with you in the next episode. In the meantime, go out there and manifest some magic.